Alright, so first off, we're going to be taking a look at my perk build. The perks are in the bottom right corner, those purple icons. The first perk, and we're going to go in clockwise order, is Bamboozle. What Bamboozle does is when you vault a window as the killer, it blocks that window for survivors for 16 seconds, and it also increases your vaulting speed by 15%. The next perk is Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. Scourge hooks are specific perks that change 4 hooks in the match to Scourge hooks. Scourge hooks are white with their aura, and you can see the aura of the generators there. They're red. Aura is wall hacks, basically. The aura of Scourge hooks are white, and they each have their own specific niche to them. What Pain Resonance does is it immediately regresses the most progressed generator by 20%, and you can use it 4 times, once for each survivor you hook. You can't use Pain Resonance on the same survivor twice, and for it to activate, of course, the survivor has to be hooked for the first time on a Scourge hook. Now, they can be hooked on it's only if they get hooked on a Scourge hook for the first time. If you hook them, then hook them on a Scourge hook, it will still activate, because that will be the first time you hooked them on a Scourge hook. Okay, the next perk is Enduring. What Enduring does is it reduces the duration of pallet stuns by 50%. Survivors can stun you with a pallet, it makes it so that you're not stunned for as long. And the last perk is Barbecue and Chili. What Barbecue and Chili does is every time you hook a survivor, any survivor within 40 meters of you, or not within 40 meters, sorry, 40 meters away from you, have their aura revealed. And as I said earlier, aura is wall hacks, so you can see them across the map and through walls, and that lasts for 5 seconds after hooking somebody. Alright, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the killer I'm playing as well. I'm playing the Mastermind, or Albert Wesker from Resident Evil, and he has a dash ability. Wesker's dash ability is 2 dashes, one a shorter range and the other a longer range, that can be used to grab and injure survivors by slamming them into a wall or throwing them into a wall. He can also throw survivors into the distance, but doing so is bad, as they will gain distance and will not get injured if they just land on the ground. They have to collide with a solid object like the rock or the tree, or, a wall. Wesker's slam is when he grabs a survivor and his dash extends to where he collides with a wall while having the survivor in his hands. That basically just injures them and causes them to lose distance compared to if he were to just hit them with his knife. Another thing Wesker has is an infection mechanic. In the games, Wesker has a virus called Ouroboros, and his whole thing is, trying to spread it to everything, because it makes people superhuman or whatever. In the game, how Ouroboros works is when you grab a survivor with Wesker, they immediately get infected with it. Over the course of time, the infection will grow, and you can see that on the side, the left side of the HUD, where the survivor icons are. When the infection reaches maximum, the white icon around the survivors will turn red, and they will gain a 4% movement speed debuff permanently unless they cure it. There are boxes around the map with sprays that cure the infection, but they are limited and can run out. So you can infect the survivors so many times that they do not have any more sprays to cure themselves with, and will have to permanently be 4% slower. And 4% is a lot in this game. Another thing Wesker has going for him is his map traversal with his dash. His dashes are quite fast. They're very fast, and they only go in a straight line wherever you aim them. but they're really good for traversing the map, and you'll see when we start, I immediately use these dashes to go to the center of the map so that I can have the best chance of finding a survivor very, very early on in the match. Okay, yeah, I see. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit of what just happened there. So, when I dashed to the middle of the map, I saw two survivors running on the right side of the killer shack, which is this, well, the shack that I'm standing at right now. I saw two survivors running there, and this loud noise, that explosion that you heard, and that little icon you see on that generator over there, indicates that a survivor has missed a skill check, which is just like a little quick time event that happens when you're repairing a generator as a survivor. When you miss a skill check, it creates a loud noise and a notification for the killer telling you that you missed it and exactly where you are. This is really good because it means I know exactly where 3 of the 4 survivors are right now, and I can use context clues to guess exactly where they're going. I'm chasing one survivor, the Gabriel Soma, the guy in the white. The girl, which I'm pretty sure was the Talita, the girl on the bottom of the survivor roster on the left side of the HUD, was going toward that generator, which means she was going to help her friend repair it, which means I can expect 2 people to be on that generator later while I'm chasing this one person. I make a mistake later on, in a few seconds, and I will explain the mistake I make as well. Wow, what? I didn't think I had 2, wow. Alright, so I'm sure you can guess, but I made a silly mistake there. Wesker's power has a cooldown after your dash. Of course it does, because it would be extremely powerful if it didn't. What happened is I thought, since with Wesker you can wait for both of your dashes to recharge, or you can just use one, and, you won't have your second one because it hasn't recharged yet. I thought I only had one dash, so I was queuing up to swing my knife instead of do a second dash, because I didn't know I had it back yet. That's why I dashed into the wall and missed a really easy hit on that guy that I really should have gotten if I would have just been paying a little more attention. I didn't think I had 2. What am I doing, chasing this person? The reason why I'm hesitating to want to chase this person, this Dwight, you can see him at the top of the survivor roster on the left side of the screen. The reason why I hesitate to chase him is because I know, as I said earlier, that there are 2 survivors on that generator far away from him. What he may be doing is trying to take me away from that generator so that the survivors can finish it. You can see in the bottom left corner, you can see the 5 with the generator icon next to them. The survivors have to complete 5 generators to power the exit gates so that they can open them and leave the match, and that's how the survivors win. My job is to not let them do that. So by chasing this guy, I'm giving them a free chance to repair the generator uninterrupted. Not all killers can vault over pallets that survivors drop. This is unique to Wesker and a few other killers, and he can only do it with his power. Does he vault the pallet? He doesn't. Wow. What happened here was a 50-50. What a 50-50 is when a killer and survivor are in an interaction where, depending on what either of them do at the time, they can get a hit. It's a mind game. What happened is the Dwight had a choice. Vault the pallet or don't vault the pallet. And I had a choice. Continue following him or double back. If he vaulted the pallet and I doubled back, I would have hit him. And since he kept running, if I would have kept following him, I would have hit him. I expected him to vault the pallet, which he didn't, which means he won the 50-50. Something I do right after this is strategically drop chase. Now, I'm chasing this to white, but as I said earlier, I know that there are two people on that generator in the middle of all the other generators, far away from me. I know that two people at least are doing it, which means it's probably ready to be finished soon. I know if I leave the Dwight now, I still have a chance to make it to that generator and chase other people before the generator finishes. I do not want to chase the Dwight, especially after I lost the 50-50. If I had won the 50-50, it might have been worth it to try and chase the Dwight more, even though I knew people were on the generator, as I could have downed him and hooked him on pain resonance and gotten the 20% regression that the perk gives me. Holy shit. Let me go over here. Now, usually as killer, you wouldn't want to vault this window. You'd want to go around this wall and cut the survivors off from a better angle. But due to my perk Bamboozle, it makes vaulting this window the best play, as vaulting the window with Bamboozle blocks the window for survivors for 16 seconds, and I vault the window 15% quicker than I would without the perk. Redrop. Survivors can bring one of 5 items into a match. These items are the flashlight, the medkit, the toolbox, the map, and the key. You'll usually never see a map and a key as they're very niche and not the best in the game. Toolboxes, medkits, and flashlights are the most common, with medkits being the most common, then flashlights, then toolboxes. Toolboxes can be used to break hooks and repair generators faster. Medkits are used to heal yourself, because you need a teammate to do it for you without a medkit. And flashlights can be used to blind the killer and cause them to drop survivors they're carrying if you blind them while they're carrying a survivor. What this survivor is trying to do is blind me while I break the pallet so that I won't be able to see while they run away. This is usually a bad idea, especially because this person didn't time it right and didn't get the chance to blind me. It's a bad idea because if you have a good set of headphones, you can hear the survivor's footsteps and just follow them while you're blind because you can still hear them. Oh, I threw her just... Sure, yeah.
I expected more from you. Is that all you have?
That chime you heard and that notification on my screen mean a generator was completed. No clue how that didn't hit.
Seven minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
I'm gonna make this because that's getting stuck. The reason why I expressed worry about not making it to the hook is because the survivor can wiggle, and that's those noises you hear them making on my back. They can wiggle out of your grasp after a certain time. I thought I wasn't going to make it to the hook because I got stuck on a tree, and I thought that, well, I wouldn't make it because I thought the wiggle timer would have went up and they'd have gotten off. What happens when they get off is they go back to injured instead of downed, and they just run away. Another reason why I didn't think I was going to make it is because I got greedy. This hook is a pain resonance hook. You can see it in white. You'll also see my pain resonance go down when I hook this person. You see the 4 next to the pain resonance perk icon. That is a token. Pain Resonance has 4 tokens, and as I said before, they are each for 1 survivor that you hook on a Pain Resonance hook. I got greedy, and I avoided a hook. You can see it earlier on. I avoided that hook to get this Pain Resonance hook. This isn't the most progressed gen. I lose another, damn. To explain a little bit, I was a bit upset at seeing this generator at so much progress, you can see by the pistons moving, that my Pain Resonance did not hit this generator. As you might recall, Pain Resonance regresses the most progressed generator by 20%. And that generator, when it's regressing, you'll see sparks coming out of it. This generator wasn't regressing, which means there is another generator at more progress than this that got hit by Pain Resonance.
I'm gonna tunnel.
What I said there was I'm going to tunnel. What tunneling is when you focus down one survivor and get them dead and out of the match as soon as possible. It's a very effective strategy, but can backfire very hard. Survivors also really don't like it. I mean, I understand it's not fun to get tunneled, but sometimes it's necessary to win. As with this match, the generator that I hit with Pain Resonance, which I don't know where it is, was at a higher progress than that generator earlier, which was already at a high progress, which effectively means that 4 on the generators that you see down in the bottom left corner is really 2, because that's 2 generators that are at very high progress, and they can be getting done while I'm chasing, which means I have a very high chance to lose 2 generators just by taking this chase here.
You disappoint me.
Back again.
Is that the best you've got?
The reason why I turn my back and come around corners backwards instead of facing forwards is because in Dead by Daylight, the killer has a red light that constantly emits from the front of their body. The red light coats the ground, and it's called the red stain. The red stain is there to tell survivors when you're coming around the corner. It's a few feet in front of your body that the light projects, so they can see the light before they can even see you. But if your back is turned to a corner, they can't see your light because it's facing the other way. This is also why I usually flick my camera around when I'm on a small object, because it can make the survivor think I doubled back and went the other way while I'm still just moving toward them, and it can cause them to hesitate and give me a hit.
I'll see you dead.
Someone's right here.
I knew someone was here by those red marks on the ground, the scratches. They're called scratch marks, fittingly. Survivors leave them when they run. The scratch marks linger for a while before disappearing, and they're used to find survivors, of course. Another thing I want to talk about for a little bit is the win condition for killer and survivor. Survivors have to complete the 5 generators, as I've said before, to finish the exit gates. There are 7 generators on the map, but only 5 of them have to be completed, and once the 5 are completed, all of them count as complete. There are 2 exit gates that the survivors have to open to leave. Now, spoilers, in this match they don't make it to powering the exit gates, but still, you have a last-ditch effort as killer to protect the 2 exit gates so that survivors cannot open them. As killer, you have to prevent the survivors from doing the generators. Each survivor can be hooked 3 times. On the survivor's 3rd hook, they are killed instantly. Now, I'm going to talk about camping, or well, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm sure I don't have to, I don't have to explain camping to you, really, but you just camp the hook. You stay around the hook, and you see the hooked person on the left side of the screen. You can see that they have a bar below their name. That bar is their hook timer. Slowly, that hook timer will tick down, and if you, the killer, want to stick around the hook, as long as you're not right next to it, their hook timer will go down, and you will be able to basically just keep the other survivors from being able to unhook them so that that person dies. I try to do this, it doesn't really turn out as I wanted it to.
Ace. That's not ace, that's a
There
delight.
is, there is pain and there's resonance.
Wow, okay. I'm gonna camp this hook out. Where are you going, man? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're just gonna take it. Didn't know you could vault that from the outside.
Oh, if I wouldn't have gotten stuck.
Why?
Because well, I'm fine,
Why
but
would she?
I don't
Why
know.
would she do that?
I don't know. I got brought here, by the way. By
Start.
the guy I killed. The guy tunneled. That's why I tunneled so hard, because I got brought here. Wow, they're both insta-down if I catch them with a...
Now, the heartbeat you hear and the little icon you see pulsing on my screen is the Killer Instinct trigger. Wesker's power, as I mentioned before, has a way for the survivors to cure the illness that he gives them, and you can see on the screen they had it, the ring around their icon, and then it disappeared. They cured themselves with a first aid spray that they got out of the boxes that Wesker has set around the map for the survivors to get the spray from. Now, when they spray after they finish, Wesker gets the Killer Instinct, telling Wesker exactly where the survivors are.
Too bad.
That boy
you won't
dead.
make it much further.
That boy dead. That boy dead.
Yeah, I don't know. I started playing this like a competitive player. I picked one person and tunneled them out immediately. I was not gonna try to run this one out normally. There's no way I would have won. They did the generators real fast.
That's how they do it. Oh my god. You took him over a hill.
You don't make it back. Oh, he does if he fucking baits me like that.
Bates Motel.
Give me a pain res here. Thank you. I just need this to... Okay. I knew they were over there anyway.
Now, something you may have noticed was that when I hooked that survivor, and you can see he's on his first hook, and I hooked him on a pain resonance hook, the token on my pain resonance didn't go down. This is because pain resonance has a fail-safe. If there are no generators with any progress whatsoever, pain resonance will not activate. It's just so that you won't waste one of the strongest perks in the game when there's no progress to regress. Which means, and this gives me good information, that there is not a single generator on the map that has progress, and there are 4 generators currently on the map.
Whatever.
Do you actually think you can defeat me?
Oh, wow. That was a...
Right. Oh no. Oh,
Oh, wait. I didn't pain res off of that Dwight, which means that no generators have progress. They were nearby, because I didn't see Aura.
The reason why I say that is because of my perk Barbecue and Chili, which shows survivor auras, which is, I'll say again, wall hacks. I can see them across the map and through walls. I didn't see their aura because Barbecue and Chili only shows it if they are more than 40 meters away from you, which means that the survivors that were here, since I didn't see any aura, are 40 meters close to me, which means they're quite nearby.
Unless they have, like, perks. No, we're nearby. Oh, wait, I could have hit him.
yeah.
Oh
my god. What just happened?
That happens when you do that, because it cues the stun up. Because I grabbed him on the same frame he dropped the pallet. Oh, that could have been so good.
Oh.
He makes that window. I could have vaulted that window before, maybe. Ooh, barely.
I thought it was dead hard.
Playtime is over.
This shit's so bruh.
I know where the hatch is. You really gonna sit here?
I know where the last survivor is.
Really? That didn't hit, by the way? Nice.
Let's finish this.
Who is that? What survivor is that?
I thought it was Ace, but it's Dwight. Originally, I thought it was Ace, but no, it's a Dwight. Yeah,
What
see,
a bummer.
they took me here.